Hello legends, with a new patch coming into the game, I was gonna do a generic video showing you everything about the patch, but I thought to myself, what is the thing, the burning question that my legends are having right now? And I think that I know the answer. You guys want to know if the new 5-star it is worth to pull or not. So because of that, I made a full breakdown showcasing everything about the new 5-star. Also, we're gonna go into the 2-star and the 1-star. And after this video, I can guarantee you that you're gonna know the answer. Before we go into that, please do not forget to actually go and redeem your code Flash Harvest. You can redeem in-game, or you go into Diablo Immortal, redeem, you get your legendary Crests, you get your Aquamarines and your Sapphires, so they actually learn it. And of course, also don't forget to drop that like and subscribe button. You know how it is, boys. So let's go here into the description of the Haunt Coil. We already know this information. 10% chance of applying a debuff for 6 seconds. Whenever you are in the offensive stance, you apply increased damage, and whenever you are in the defensive stance, you apply reduced damage. Very strong just by that. And also you're gonna apply some AoE damage, which makes it extremely strong. But we did not know the percentage of damage, and I was very cautious until I actually saw this, and I'm like, oh my god. First of all, 20% rank 1. Just that, like that's like literally awesome for even like newbie players. Like you can even use it as an auxiliary. It is absolutely godly. Then of course we cannot talk about the elephant in the room. 45% increased damage at rank 10. Man, the power creep, guys, it has been absolutely insane in this game lately. I know it is part of like these games, the mobile games, but man, it is going extremely wild. And obviously, you know, we're talking about right now one of the best 5-stars in the game. So goes from 20%, 24% at rank 2, and I want you guys to pay attention here at the rank 4, because that's like the ceiling for most like free-to-play and low spenders. 28% increased damage or decreased damage depending on the stance. It is extremely powerful. So probably, you know, I'm gonna see if I'm gonna pull for it, but probably, you know, guys know that I'm gonna probably pull for it, right? So let's talk more about the details of this 5-star. The 10% proc chance, it is a lot in this game. And I know that like 10% is not like 100%, it's not applied like instantly, but we do so much damage in so many dots, in like basically in 1 second you do like 5 or 6 hits at least. So because of that, it makes, you know, the proc chance of 10% be almost instantly. You're gonna apply it instantly on the target. And one thing that is very important to understand is like this seconds debuff can actually be extended up to 14.5 seconds. And obviously this is the ideal conditions, which is like 6 seconds, then you multiply with the 50% from potency can be extended, but usually the players are around probably like 30, 35, something like that. Then you have the 2 pieces burdens, which applies 30% more. And then you have the Misery Elixir, the 1-star gem that also increases the duration up to 24%. So all of these, they multiply with each other, which gives a total of 14.5 seconds. So this is a lot, which makes like this gem be like, you know, only have like a very short cooldown, and even can be extended more than what we can actually have with a buff gem, with the beneficial effect duration. In PvP, obviously the standard duration, it is always going to be the 6 seconds, but it can actually be reduced if you're facing an enemy that has higher resistance than your potency. So you can actually still apply it for like 4 seconds, which honestly 4 seconds in PvP feels like almost like an eternity, right? So you're gonna engage, you're gonna apply, then you're gonna disengage, then you're gonna engage again, it's gonna apply again, and like that it is gonna be very strong. But I feel like still the strongest thing about the gem, it is the fact that the 20 seconds cooldown, it is per enemy, or in this case per target, which makes it extremely strong. So I'm gonna give you guys this example. Whenever you usually engage on the target with a buff gem, you have, for example, like the rolling consequence, the Colossus, they all pop in, right? And then you're gonna go into these 10 seconds that they are gonna be not useful. So if you get engaged in the middle of whenever you actually have your buffs down, you're gonna be way weaker. But with this gem, it doesn't matter, because every time that you are switching out the targets, you can actually be in this continuous flow that you're always applying your debuffs on the targets, either it is mobs in dungeons or open world, or either it's gonna be player versus player. So very strong, and I feel like actually debuffs gems in general, if they keep getting these better, I believe they actually gonna overcome and become better over time in the game comparing to the buff gems. So now let's go here and compare, for example, two obvious choices, which is in one side we have also a very strong gem, which is the Spectral Glass. At a rank 8 for free-to-play players and low spenders, it's gonna give you a 44% damage increase, but also increases your critical hit chance by 3%. So very strong to start, mostly used for almost every content around the game, like when it comes to PvE, but it has like only 2 seconds duration, which they also can be increased as well, and it has a 6 seconds cooldown. So this is a perfect PvE gem if you want to do like dungeons and you are always like on the flow, almost like instantly one-shotting the everything, you know, the elite packs, everything. Like nothing in this game really takes longer than 3 seconds to kill, except obviously boss, raid bosses, or gauntlets. And at rank 10 for free-to-play veterans or spenders, you can actually have up to 28% increased damage and 4% critical chance. So this is very strong gem, and overall I love it. And you also cannot underestimate the power of the 4% critical hit chance. Now we have here on the other side the Haunt Coil, the new 5-star, which at rank 4 is gonna give you the same increase and decrease damage that, you know, a rank 10 to start is gonna give you. And on top of that, it's also gonna increase your damage by applying this AoE damage, which is very strong. Something that, you know, some people don't realize how strong this is actually gonna be is because whenever you're gonna have, for example, a pack of mobs and you're gonna dive into the pack of mobs and you're gonna apply the Haunt Coil on all of these 5 packs, they're all doing AoE damage to each other and creating like a chain reaction of explosions that pretty much just gonna explode the pack all the time. So it's gonna be like, you're gonna have a use pretty much overall for everything in the game, so it's very strong. It's gonna have 6 seconds duration and also the 20 seconds cooldown. For the rank 6, the mid spenders, you actually can increase this for 33%. This is above pretty much any gem that we already have in the game. I feel like the one that comes like slightly closer, it is gonna be the Morn Skull, but you need like triple target and you have a certain amount of buff duration, so it's not gonna stay up at 100% uptime compared to the Haunt Coil. So very strong. And obviously, if you are the whale, come on man, a heavy spender, 45 increase or decrease damage, 40% AoE damage, which makes this like one of the best gems for PvE and PvP on the game. Like in PvP, even after the Strife, we are talking about what, like almost like 15%, right? 15% decrease or increased damage. That's absolutely nuts. So yeah, very strong gem. Power creep is going crazy. Now let's talk here about the socket bonus. These are the bonus of the gems that you're gonna put inside. So the resonance gems are gonna be the Spectral Glass, the Viper's Bite, the Ignore Scorn, the Sweeping Bite, and also the Spiteful Blood. You're gonna put slot them in. And then the socket points, which is actually quite surprising, they made it defensive. So the damage taken while moving, it is decreased by 3%. Damage taken while suffering loss of control, it is less 4%. Block chains increased by 2%. Damage taken by nearby enemies is reduced by 2%, and the damage taken is also reduced by 1%. Honestly, I kind of wish that it was like going with the attack one, because it will make this gem even more powerful. It's not like I'm gonna have it, I'm just thinking about like for the spender. Like I feel like it will be more beneficial if this was attack bonus, but regardless, still a very strong gem. So for the final legendary gem setup, if I had to go and change a few things, I actually replaced the gold firmament for now the Haunt Coil, and I feel like that we have here now a very super strong 5-star setup for the late game, which is the Blood-Soaked Jade for the increased damage and movement speed. Rolling Consequence, obviously the best gem in the game because it increases your crit, burning, and all this good stuff. Bottle Hope at a high rank, which is gonna give you damage, movement speed, and also skill cooldown reduction. Colossus makes you big, skill damage, immune to knockbacks, super strong. Wolf Heart, still a goated gem, is gonna give you attack speed and some extra damage every 5 hits that you do. Haunt Coil, the new one, just literally straight up huge increased damage on the target. Blood flow, increased crit damage, bleed, and increased damage. Absolutely nuts for the whale. And also you have here the Void Spark, which is the one that's gonna create some AoE ability, some kind of like chain lightning, also increases your attack speed. But obviously this last slot can be changing depending on the class. For example, if you are a Tempest or a Demon Hunter, you just slot in here the Gloom Cask. But we are reaching to a point that, you know, heavy spenders and whales, they are having absolutely godly setups, which everything is gonna add some extra damage. And I believe that in the future the next gem is gonna follow the same trend. Well, rest in peace, old 5 stars in the game, they are just getting, you know, demolished. And I know that a lot of people are actually quite upset because they put a lot of money on these old, but at the same time, just remember all these, you know, gacha games and in the mobile games, they always do this. You know, the game will keep progressing, and with time new heroes or new gems will come to the game, and it's just part of the progression. And a lot of people are okay with that, but a lot of people get very upset and they quit the game because, you know what, this just feels like a bit predatory, so they don't want to keep investing it. But the reality is, guys, have in mind that this game, it is extremely easy, especially when it comes to PvE. So don't ever really feel like you have to go for these 5 stars, because you can literally just play the game with 1, 2 stars and a few 5 stars and you're gonna be completely fine. So let's go here into now the final review. Obviously, this is a very powerful, even for the free-to-play player at rank 4, you know, 28% with AoE abilities. It is extremely strong. It works everywhere. It works for any class, any build, and it's gonna apply insane AoE damage. So, final rating, I mean, what a surprise, right? What a surprise. It obviously is gonna be S tier. There's nothing like really wrong with this gem. It's just, it doesn't have cooldown almost, like, except on the same target. Like, you can just keep going and going. Insane damage reduction even in PvP, and it works with everything everywhere. Like, that's what you exactly want. You always want a gem to put your resources on that are gonna be, you know, useful for anything you want to do inside the game, any game mode and any class. That's what I'm looking for. I usually really like these universal gems because not only they are more comfortable because they're gonna be applied everywhere, but also because at the same time it makes it really hard for you to in the future to gonna go and replace it. So most likely on the stream, if you guys want to come, I'm gonna pull for it on my birthday. It's gonna be on the 29th September, next Monday, so be there with me. It's gonna be really fun. I'm gonna do a birthday stream. It's gonna be awesome. So for the final 2 stars and 1 star, we have here the Fading Nostrum. We are having here a buff that whenever you take damage, you're gonna have a reduction of 42% of the continual damage effects. Have in mind that all this percentage, they're gonna be strifed inside PvP by 66%, so it's like just always 1 turn. So the chance of block projectiles, instead of being 12%, it is gonna be 4%. This is very niche for you if you want to build a tank. The same as this one, the Mountain Toe, the 1 star, which is gonna give you a critical resistance by 12%, which is gonna be like 4%, which is gonna be very nice for the tank. Critical hit damage also taken is gonna be reduced by 4%, which is gonna be like around like 1%. So because players inside PvP, they have like very low crit, makes this gem actually very valuable, because they don't have a lot of crit. Probably they have like what, 6, 8, 9, 10% maximum without the crit gems being on. So adding this, you know, reduction of 4%, it actually makes it that you're gonna be taking way less damage. So overall, these are gonna be the review for the 5 star, 1 star and 2 stars. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please, as always, have in mind that this is still a mobile game and they will always do this, so don't feel like you really have to go pull for it. But obviously it is a godly gem, it is a S tier gem, and there is no way around it. It is very strong, so if you have the resources saved in as a free-to-player, low spender, or even a whale, go for it. You're not gonna regret, because this gem is gonna be here for a while. So with this, thank you for watching, and I catch you guys on the next one. Peace.